Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're talking dating advice, but we're not getting it from some new app or influencer. Nope, we're going way, way back, 2,400 years back, to Plato. So let's be real. Why does modern dating feel so broken? Like you're just endlessly swiping through this glitchy algorithm. You see all these profiles promising the world, but what you get is ghosting. It really does feel like we're all stuck in a game that rarely leads to a real, genuine connection.
And that's really the heart of the issue, isn't it? We're chasing the one by scrolling and scrolling, and we mistake these little dopamine hits, the buzz from a new match, for actual depth. It's like we've been rewired to crave validation, not real human connection.
So what's the answer? A new app? A better algorithm? Nope. The answer, believe it or not, is in a 2,400-year-old text. We're talking about Plato's Symposium. And look, I know what you might be thinking, but this is not some dusty old book. Think of it more like a razor-sharp scalpel, ready to cut through all the nonsense of modern dating.
Okay, so let's get into it. The Symposium is basically a dinner party. You've got all the smartest people in Athens hanging out, drinking wine, and trying to figure out what is love, or eros as they called it. And the wild thing is, the big ideas they came up with back then, we are still wrestling with them today. Let's look at the first theories they threw out there. First up is this guy, Pausanias. He gets up and says, look, there are two kinds of love. You've got your heavenly love. This is the noble, intellectual, soul-to-soul connection. And then you have vulgar love, which he basically dismisses as just base, physical lust. He sets up this really clear pecking order. And does that sound familiar or what? Heavenly love is pretty much the ancient Greek version of writing, seeking a meaningful connection on your dating profile. And vulgar love? Well, that's just hookup culture. It's basically a form of romantic snobbery, maybe even a little ancient slut-shaming, drawing this hard line in the sand about what kind of love is worthy.
All right, so after him, the doctor of the group, Eryximachus, takes the floor. And of course, he has a very clinical take. He thinks love is this big harmonizing force in the universe. It's what balances opposites, hot and cold, wet and dry. For him, it's not about messy passion. It's all about balance.
Honestly, you could just call this what it is, reductionist pseudoscience. It's kind of like a modern wellness guru telling you to align your love frequencies or something. It's this attempt to take all the beautiful, messy chaos of love and just sanitize it. Turn it into some kind of neat, biohacked formula.
Okay, hold on. Because now we're getting to what might be the most influential and maybe the most romantically poisonous idea from this whole conversation. I'm talking about the trap of the soulmate myth.
So the playwright, Aristophanes, he gets up and tells this wild story. He says way back when, humans were these powerful, round creatures, 4 arms, 4 legs, 2 faces, the whole deal. Well, Zeus got nervous about their power, so he zapped them in half with a lightning bolt. And ever since then, we've been doomed to wander the earth, searching for our other half, just to feel whole again.
I know, it sounds super romantic, but this is where the romantic poison comes in. Why? Well, because this myth tells you that you are fundamentally incomplete by yourself. It's the ultimate recipe for codependency. It puts all this pressure on finding the one to fix you, to make you whole. It turns another person into a solution, not a partner.
But then, Socrates speaks, and he just flips the entire conversation on its head. He says he learned everything he knows about love from a wise woman named Diotima, and her idea is radically different.
First things first, he says eros isn't a god you worship. It's a daimon, a spirit caught between humans and gods. And this is so important, because for Socrates, love isn't about getting something. It's not about possession. It's about the constant striving, this deep philosophical desire for beauty and goodness. It's a journey, not a destination.
And he lays out this journey, which we now call the ladder of love. So you start at the bottom rung. You love one beautiful body, simple enough, but then you're supposed to climb. You learn to see the beauty in all bodies. Then you move up again to loving beautiful souls and minds. Higher still, you love beautiful ideas, laws, institutions. And you keep climbing until finally you might just catch a glimpse of the eternal form of beauty itself. It's this incredible ascent from the physical right up to the purely philosophical.
Okay, so everyone at the party is probably feeling pretty good about themselves, right? Picturing themselves climbing this beautiful ladder to enlightenment. And then, bam!
reality comes crashing through the door. Literally.
Yeah, it turns out high-minded philosophy is no match for a party crasher. And this isn't just any party crasher, it's Alcibiades, the golden boy of Athens. He's rich, he's handsome, he's powerful, and he is completely, roaringly drunk. He stumbles in and just torpedoes the whole conversation.
And he doesn't talk about love in the abstract. Oh no. He gives this raw, messy speech about his unrequited love for Socrates. He compares Socrates to one of those ugly little statues that, when you crack it open, has a divine figure inside. He admits he tried everything to seduce Socrates, but Socrates just rejected him, offered him philosophy instead of intimacy. And this story, it just shatters that perfect ladder. It reminds us that love isn't just a neat climb. It's pain, it's rejection, it's chaotic and human.
So, what in the world does all this ancient Greek drama have to do with us, swiping left and right in the 21st century? Well, let's take all this philosophy and turn it into some actual radical fixes for modern love.
All right, here's the playbook. First, instead of that soulmate fetishism, looking for someone to complete you, try seeking complementarity. Find someone who amplifies the person you already are. Second, instead of getting stuck on just physical looks, that body-only baseline, start climbing that ladder on date 1. Talk about your big ideas, your dreams. And finally, let's ditch our addiction to perfectly curated Instagram aesthetics. Instead, learn to love the busted Selenos, that messy, imperfect, but divine reality that's inside every single one of us.
So when you really boil it all down, Plato's ancient dinner party leaves us with one massive question to ask ourselves. Is the love you're looking for an endpoint? You know, a goal to achieve, a prize to win, a box to check off a list? Or is it an engine? A powerful, dynamic force that's constantly pushing you to grow, to question, and to climb towards something bigger than yourself. That's the real challenge, right there.